0.7 billion Tanzanian shillings in the health, education, water infrastructure, roads, bridges, and environmental sectors, among others. After the Kilimanjaro region, the Uhuru torch will be handed over to the Tanga Regional Commissioner, Dr. Batilda Buriani, ready for its race in the region. The Prime Minister, Kassim Majaliwa, has directed the Ministry of Culture, Arts and Sports to ensure that it oversees, protects and educates all artists in the country on the importance of copyright registration and other issues related to copyright and intellectual property rights. Here are more details.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says it is important for the ministry to put in place a friendly system that will enable artists to benefit from the opportunities that have been made available by the government, including low-interest loans. Majaliwa says that the government continues to increase the Culture and Arts Fund with the aim of enabling artists to improve their works by providing them with loans, along with entrepreneurship training, where loans of total worth 2.39 billion shillings have been given to 113 culture and arts projects, enriching 236,685 artists.
Civil servants should all continue to provide cooperation to companies, owners and artists in the production of their work, and in providing education about the importance of having intellectual property for their work in order for them to benefit from their work. Secondly, the Ministry of Culture should set a special plan to ensure that all artists register their work.
Furthermore, he calls on all religious believers and Tanzanians in general to use this festive season to spread love, maintain peace, and encourage good and moral behaviors. On the other hand, the Minister of Culture, Arts and Sports, Damas Ndumbaro, said the government through the ministry will continue to put in place plans and friendly policies to facilitate the development of talents of artists from a young age.
Sisi kama wizara ambaye tuna dhamana ya kusimamia masuala ya utamaduni, sanaa na michezo.
The Ministry of Culture, Arts and Sports congratulates all artists here, and we promise to support you so that this concert may become bigger and spread across the country. We support this event because it is a good event which spreads the gospel through music.
Remaining in Dar es Salaam, Tanzanians have been advised to manifest good deeds that express kindness, generosity, and helpfulness that benefit others or contribute positively to the society, including praying for peace and harmony. The call has been made in Dar es Salaam during Easter Monday celebrations, insisting in doing so is the best way to remember the suffering, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Here are more details.
Easter Monday is the day after Easter Sunday. It marks the second day of Eastertide in Christian traditions. Many people celebrate it as a continuation of Easter festivities, giving families time to relax and enjoy various activities.
I commemorate this day very well, from Saturday, Sunday to today. I am so happy and grateful to God for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. After Jesus Christ was resurrected, he came and revealed himself to his disciples. Therefore, we celebrate Easter because Christ has revealed himself to his disciples, which means he has revealed himself to us all.
We have used the Easter Monday to baptize our child. We are grateful that our child is a Christian now. Easter Monday reminds us of a new life with Jesus Christ who has risen.
Believers of various denominations in Dar es Salaam city say that this day is an important day in expressing good deeds. Furthermore, some spend the day by performing the sacrament of baptism for their infants, ready to start a new journey of life.
This has been a wonderful day because I have been able to ensure my nieces are baptized.
My child is baptized in the time that Jesus has resurrected. It is a happy day.
Through Easter Monday, religious leaders remind Tanzanians to pray for peace and tranquility.
kuendelea kuitunza amani yetu.
Let us all maintain peace in the country. Peace in such is a rare thing in this world, even though there may have been things that haven't been going well in our lives. Let us, however, walk in life that is fulfilled. Jesus has set us free and has made us proud to be Christian and therefore depend on God. There was also baptism of children, and we have good parents to raise their children well.
That's the report there by Pascazia Bugumba and read to you by Faida Gaga. The management of Mbeya University of Science and Technology says the campaign to encourage girls to pursue science subjects has been successful, following the establishment of Zakia Hamdan Meghji Fund, which continues to provide financial support to girls. The remarks have been made by the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Alois Mvuma, immediately after opening a conference for girls in the promotion of leadership issues and science studies. Here's a report prepared by Adolf Mbata, read by Faithan Gaga.
The Mbeya University of Science and Technology has been mobilizing female students in primary and secondary schools, aiming to motivate them to pursue science subjects. Opening the conference for the university female students, the Vice-Chancellor of the College of Science and Technology, Professor Alois Mvuma, says the fund to support science students will be continuous, expressing his delight on the increase in number of girls admitted for science subjects.
Scholarship ni endelevu, kama nilivyosema ni endelevu, na tunatumia fedha za mapato ya ndani ya chuo.
The scholarship is sustainable, and we use college internal revenue funds that covers all expenses. We have realized that there are qualified female students who wish to pursue science studies and engineering, but lack of funding. We have shown the way, and this is second year we have been providing scholarship to students who lack funding.
Dr. Linda Selekwa is a researcher and scientist in infectious diseases. She talks about how women are given priority in decision-making, while the director of gender department from the university, Dr. Yacinta Kasimba, elaborates what the conference targets to achieve.
For
the society made female students to fear science studies. But now, the perception has changed and they perform well in these subjects.
Some students expressed their goals and expectations after receiving the trainings.
Female students are few. Even in leadership, women are fewer than men. We started with female students, but male students will not be left behind as well.
Good news there from the Mbeya region. Now from Mbeya, we come all the way to Dar es Salaam, where the Chinese ambassador to Tanzania, Chen Mingjiang, says that since President Samia Suluhu Hassan took office 3 years ago, Tanzania and China relations continues to improve, resulting into positive progress in trade, investment, digital economy, and the blue economy.
One is one state visit that was made by the President Samia Suluhu Hassan in the year 2022. And she was the first African head of state received by Chinese side after the 20th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. That illustrates how important Tanzania is. We put Tanzania at the position to the highest level as our reliable friend.
Ambassador Chen Mingjiang says in the year 2023, Tanzania-China trade volume has continued to excel, making China the largest trading partner to Tanzania for 8 consecutive years.
Look back 3 years ago. In 2021, the trade volume between our two countries was $6.6 billion. And in 2022, the number jumped to $8.1 billion. It was a big jump. And last year, 2023, the number was $8.8 billion, another big jump. And you can see from the rapid increase of the trade volume between the two countries. That means we are together closer and closer.
The Chinese ambassador says agricultural products such as soya beans, sesame seeds, and avocado have been exported to China, boosting Tanzania's economy as well as meeting China's needs.
If you just go to China, you can see some of the featured agricultural products from Tanzania now are on the Chinese dining table.
Now we go all the way to the Rukwa region, where the Rukwa Regional Commissioner Charles Makongoro Nyerere says that the 3 years of the 6th phase government has facilitated more than 245.2 billion Tanzanian shillings for the region's economic development in various sectors, including education, water, health, and other infrastructural systems. Makongoro adds that funds has opened up the Rukwa region in various fields, stimulating economic activities in the region, highlighting that all roads in the region are passable by 92%.
Mkoa wa Rukwa katika kipindi cha miaka mitatu umepokea jumla ya shilingi bilioni 64.7 kwa ajili ya sekta ya
In 3 years duration, Rukwa region have received a total of 64.7 billion for education sector. Health sector received 28.5 billion, water sector 31.8, and roads and infrastructure sector 120.2 million. This success in education sector has helped reduce students' communication in classroom and constructing classes. In health sectors, it has helped reduce maternal and child mortality and make health services easy in every ward. In water sector, the 6th phase government has helped easy searching for water at long distance. The economic of Rukwa region has been grown because the roads infrastructure are well built and accessible at all times of the year.
Naval forces from Mozambique, Tanzania, and India met in northern Mozambique for joint military exercises at sea. The three countries share the Indian Ocean as the common border. The exercises are meant to train the Navy to deal with the threats such as terrorism, piracy, and drug smuggling. Here are more details.
Mozambique, Tanzania, and India all share the same waters, the Indian Ocean. These countries face some common coastal challenges such as terrorism threat and sea piracy. Enough reason for them to join forces to prepare to combat those challenges. The navies from the Mozambican, Tanzanian, and Indian armed force met on the coastal town of Nacala in northern Mozambique for a joint military exercise on the sea.
O exercício trilateral que hoje termina.
These trilateral exercises helped us to harmonize the military tactics and procedures amongst brother nations, and it also helped to strengthen our friendship through naval diplomacy. As we know, Mozambique has a long coastline, so it is a challenge. It is important that we dominate the area, and that's why these exercises should not stop. This was the first time the three countries joined for a combined military exercise. The aim was to reinforce their respective capacities to control the coastline. It was also an opportunity to share each other's experiences.
The participating navies have benefited greatly from observing and participating in simulated scenarios, gaining practical experience, which is crucial for effective maritime operations. The training provided during the exercise has been comprehensive and tailored to address the specific needs and challenges faced by each navy, ensuring maximum utility and effectiveness.
Mozambique's coastline extends for about 3,000 kilometers from north to south.
How can we let the day go without talking about April Fool's Day? Now, April 1st, the annual day of pranks, tricks, and hoaxes, falls on Monday this year. That is April Fool's Day. While historians are unsure of the exact source of the tradition, they do know the custom goes back centuries, at least back to Renaissance Europe and possibly back to Roman times. Here are more details with Mario Mubiru.
Historians aren't pulling your leg when they say no one is quite sure about the origins of April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day, occurring on April 1st of every year, is an episode that carries along an intricate history shrouded in mysteries, meaning this and that according to a given people and society. But now, it is universally accepted as a day of jokes and hoaxes. We live in a world dominated by wars, earthquakes, anxieties, hatred, and animosities. We are so busy that we hardly take time to relax. It is an interminable and perpetual struggle, and we are never at ease. Fool's Day provides us with an opportunity to relax and to escape and forget, at least for a day, the anxiety and tensions that govern our lives. At times, we find it difficult to tell you what we think is the truth. Through jokes, we achieve that in a very beautiful manner without hurting the feelings of anybody. While Fool's Day comes once every year, in our society we have jokes on a regular basis, for example, those derived from sports. All in all, they provide us with joy almost every day. It is an entertainment in its own right. As we mark April Fool's Day, we must remember to laugh and relax and be happy. After all, as a poet puts it, they lose it, those who buy it with much care.
That's about April Fool's Day with Mario Mubiru. Sometimes we are too busy even to remember the April Fool's Day. Now, before we wind up with the local news tonight, let us now take a look at the exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Now, stay tuned for all the latest in international news. My colleague Nyambona Masamba is ready with all the latest in international news.
Zimbabwe is set to hold a public hearing in the killing of 10 of thousands of people in 1980s. Known as Kagrahundi, it happened in areas of the nation's independence. It was a part of military operations, which means rain washing away the chaffs or worthless garbage. Soldiers are accused of torture, rape, and execution. A witness say her father, with other family members, were locked in a house and burned alive. She hid in a nearby field and felt good she survived. She said she carried that pain all of her life and she has a sleepless nights and nightmare. To Europe, Turkey's main opposition, Republican People's Party, has declared victory in Sunday's local elections. Opposition mayors in Istanbul and Ankara have said the big wins. In Istanbul, Mayor Ekrem Imamoglu is being tipped as a potential candidate for 2028. Ekrem is said to save 16 million Istanbul residents for 5 more years. It marked the worst defeat for President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his ruling party in more than 2 decades in power. Erdogan acknowledged the political setback in his speech at the ruling party's headquarters. He said, "Today is not ending to them, but a turning back." To Asia. South Korea President Yoon Suk-yeol has defended his government's plan to increase medical schools admission by 2,000. The administration say more doctors are needed to address the country's rapidly aging population and low doctor outpatient ratio. 1,000 of trainee doctors walked out of the job in February, saying the changes will drive down wages and compromise the standard of care. They are now facing potential license suspensions. Suk-yeol said the government medical reform is to create an environment which South Korean people can get treatment wherever they live, no matter what kind of disease they have. He said if the country cannot increase the number of doctors without the doctors' permission, then I have to ask if people's lives are worth only that much to them. To America, crews have started to lift the first 200 tons of clinker. They collapsed Baltimore Bridge from the water. The bridge is being cut up for preparation of its removal. 6 people were killed when the San Francisco Key Bridge collapsed just last week, and out-of-control cargo ship stuck on one of its support pillars. A Russian artist living in Argentina's capital has tried to paint in a mirror depicting Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, but he was stopped by police before he was finished. Despite that, dozens of supporters placed flowers at the site in Buenos Aires. Navalny died suddenly in a prison in remote penal colony in February. The Kremlin said that he died in natural causes, but supporters have blamed President Vladimir Putin for his death.
That was international news as compiled and read to you by Nyambona Masamba. Now, up next is sports news. And in sports news, Deputy Minister of Arts, Culture and Sports, Hamis Winjuma, calls upon young Africans fans to support their team during the CAF Champions League second leg match against the South African champions Mamelodi Sundowns to be played in Pretoria on April 5th. Speaking while bidding farewell to 48 young African fans who will travel about 3,490 kilometers from Dar es Salaam to Pretoria, South Africa, Deputy Minister Winjuma says government will continue to extend support to fans, believing that their presence will boost players' motivation to do better in the match.
I'm here to bring government assurance that the government of Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan will continue to support the private sector in the sports sector. And what we are doing here is to show that we are determined to be among the best country.
Young Africans drew in the first league CAF Champions League quarterfinals played at Benjamin Mkapa last Saturday. Only a win will give Young an opportunity to cruise to the next stage of the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League for the first time in club's history. All the best to Young Africans and Simba, of course. Basketball referee instructor Prosper Mushi says Dar es Salaam Basketball League has become a reliable source of the national team players. Speaking to TBC News in Dar es Salaam, instructor Mushi adds that Dar es Salaam Basketball League provides the youth with a chance to show their potentials as well as creating self-employment for them while building physical fitness.
It's the way we can get best players, best team of the national team, under 16, from under 18, under 23, and the national team. Really best from Dar es Salaam. Majority of the good players are here in Dar es Salaam. So I think on this league, that's where coaches can select, can scout players that can be nominated at the national team. Football is a very big opportunity. Need not basketball only, all sports. There's a very big opportunity for a player to pursue on what he's willing.
And that's the sports news. Now, before we conclude the news bulletin, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello and welcome again to the next 24 hours forecast starting tonight at 9 p.m. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Ramadan Omari. Rainfall models are showing signal of rainfall over some areas of our country, especially under Lake Victoria Basin, west and the coastal areas. NTMA has issued an advisory of short periods of heavy rain in a few areas of Kagera, Geita, Mwanza, Shinyanga, Mara, Kigoma, Tabora, Katavi, Rukwa, together with Unguja and Pemba Iceland. So necessary precautions should be taken over those areas. And tonight areas along Lake Victoria Basin, west, northern coast, including northern part of Morogoro region, expected to feature cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas. While southeastern highland, southern part of Morogoro region, Rovuma and the southern coast expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas. Over northeastern highland and the central area, we're expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over a few areas. And tomorrow, areas along Lake Victoria Basin, West, Southeastern Highland, Morogoro, Ruvuma, Northern Coast, and Southern Coast are expected to feature cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas in sun interval. While over Northeastern Highland and the central areas, you are expecting to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over a few areas in sun periods. And now, let's have a look on the next 4 days forecast over some regions of our country. And that is all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
That's the weather forecast, and that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Nasa Kingwe, and after a long weekend, we wish you, all of you, a productive week and a good night.
Haleluya, haleluya, Bwana Yesu Kristo amefufuka. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Mpendwa mtazamaji wa TBC1, na ukaribisha katika kipindi maalum cha salamu za Pasaka kutoka hapa Jimbo Kuu Katoliki la Dodoma, na tumekuja kuonana na waamini wa Katoliki mbalimbali ambao wanatuma salamu za Pasaka kwenda kwa wapendwa wao ambao wapo katika majimbo mbalimbali Katoliki hapa nchini Tanzania. Karibu ungane nami, jina langu ni Dennis Msoto na ninakuletea kipindi hiki kwa niaba ya Kurugenzi ya Mawasiliano ya Baraza la Maaskofu Katoliki Tanzania.